Hey, everybody, welcome to the call. My name is Mike Alleman, and my wife, Michelle. A lot of y'all have known her name as being one of the top producers, but it's been one of the things that we've been here for it's a little over 12 years. I say 13 these days. And yeah, Robbie, when I saw that picture, I went, oh, look, they got us in Banff, Canada. And I think that was at the welcome reception where they had these cool owls and things. I mean, stuff you just don't get to do. They had an eagle you could put on your shoulder. I mean, it was incredible. This promo for the trips, there's plenty of time right now, guys, for everyone to be on the trip to Alaska. And we're going to see some cool animals when we're there. But anyway, so yeah, we had a lot of great reception after the last call on the CRM, and a lot of good questions, a lot of good dialogue, and Robbie, I think we said it last time that all the enhancements are going to be happening after this call, and that gives you no time frame, so we're good. It's going to be all after this call, and and so it should be fun. So today, I mean, we got a lot of enhancements and stuff coming on, and I'm going to try and go over just a little bit of the things that we reviewed last time. At the same time, I am going to be talking to you guys a little bit about some of the new things, how about some of the questions that we've had raised in the process of doing this. So let me get my screen sharing up here, get some of this stuff going, and we'll be ready to rock and roll. All right, cool. Boom. So if you're on Zoom, you should be seeing my screen now, and we'll be kind of reviewing a couple of things here. One of the fun things about being a top producer for 12 plus years is we've discovered that Michelle has a lot of clients, and that kind of was a little bit of our challenge last time, with kind of slowing some things down. So some of y'all may enjoy this or not. Some of y'all may think I'm a total geek on this thing. But so I'm going to be kind of driving this from our what I call our Avengers hierarchy. As you can see up in the top corner, I've got Anthony Stark, very good team leader there. Anyway, so we're going to kind of walk through a few things. When you first log into the ARC, what you see is this screen, right? You've got some trainings here. You've got your latest video call. You've got some 3D stuff going on there. Sorry, just my computer's woo. All the upcoming meetings. Look, here's the call for coming up. I mean, just everything is like boom, boom, boom right here. So you have a lot of access to things. A lot of folks, need to understand that, your commissions and all that, you find that underneath your agents tab. Okay. And I'm going to highlight something. We got some futures coming. I'm not going to say it, but y'all know what I'm talking about. We got some good stuff in the future after this call. But we're going to kind of drill down into a couple of things today. One of the questions that has come up a couple times is, well, how do I look at my hierarchy? How do I look at where my team is? And I know a lot of folks have looked at this tab here, the team tab, and underneath the team tab, you have your hierarchy and you have your recruit info. Recruit info is going to be those folks that once you get them like registered in the site, they're going to show up here. Hierarchy is going to be those folks that, once they're kind of part of the team, and you can kind of see, here's my Avenger hierarchy here. You can see that it's just kind of a drill down and kind of shows you. I don't have NAA numbers because they wouldn't give I don't know. They said they're superheroes. They can't have NAA numbers. So we gave them names. But what you typically see here is their name, their email address, and so forth. And you can kind of drill down into that hierarchy. Okay. Now that just kind of shows you visual, how do you say it? Oh, visually to what you got. And when you click on the CRM button, this takes you into where all your information really is. As I said last time, what happened when we went down and met with the guys with the software team and sat down with them, said, here's kind of what we're thinking. Here's what we'd like, right? And what they were able to do was populate all your clients from all the way beginning of time, right? and those clients right now are going to show up under this contacts tab. Well, obviously the Avengers are, they're a new team. They haven't wrote many policies yet, but so imagine that you would be able to come in here and see all the data related to your clients as you kind of went through and said, okay, let me see who's where, who's what, right? And I'm going to give some time for my other login to kind of work and see if we can't get some of the other data here. But so here's some of the cool things. I got notes. I got a lot of different things here. I got that, Clark Kent, he was one of my clients. It's cool. I got his phone number in here. I could actually text message him. But again, the Avengers, they don't have cell phones. So I've been trying to text Tony Stark, but it wasn't working, but that's okay. It does work with real people, as I'm told. Lois Lane, again, here's a warm market, whatever. Your agents. So one of the questions that came up a lot, in between in the last couple of weeks, Robbie, was how do I know what level my agents are at, and seeing them in my hierarchy. Well, if you know who you're looking for, you can come in here into your agents under the CRM and contacts. All right, and you can see that there's their contract number. Tony Stark's way up there. Dr. Strange, he's strange. He's a little bit of an oddball out there. He's only at a 65. But you can kind of see, this is how you can figure out where you can find your contacts here. So understand you've got that. A lot of things we went over last time also was just the advanced filters. Now I will tell you some of the things that have been, I know that I had a number of people right after the call last time said, hey, I'm trying to figure out, I'm going to run this county again. I've only run it occasionally. I'm trying to figure out how do I know all the clients that I've had in this county, right? And so you could come in here and type that name of that county and search for that county, and it'll pull up all those contacts. Same thing by carrier. So if you knew that you had foresters and you wanted to find all the list of your foresters contacts here, okay, well, boom, you got now, it'll filter down just on the clients that you have with foresters policies, okay? And you can see if I come over here and I click on Clark Kent, you can see that I had a policy written and it was a forester's policy. One of the cool things is now you get all your clients listed out like that. You can select all and export. That's right. That's what I said. Export the client list to a CSV file that you can then now go back and start calling through your clients. Does that make sense, Robbie?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. I'm going to stop my screen share, see if I can get the my other screen here up and running.
Hey, and Mike, it's really hard for me not to, like I told everybody I was going to tell them all the stuff coming through. And it's really hard for me not to say all the improvements that we're going to have that you just went over. So I'm trying to remain calm. I stood up twice when you were talking. So I almost want to tell you now, but I want you to get excited about what we already have. And then, so you keep rolling, but just know that I stood up twice about to unmute, and I was like, no, stop, don't tell them yet. Let's let them keep rocking. So, all right, back to you, Mike.
I know. Hey, you got somebody that says can't hear me. I don't know. Everybody's hearing me all right. So I'm reloading here, and again, we've had just the number of contacts that Michelle's had. We've had some challenges here with it getting populated in a timely manner. So working through that here right now. But so everybody that's listening in, right? So here's the cool part. And I'll let that work for a second, and I'll bring back up my screen here. Boom. All right. Here's the cool part, right? Is having access to your clients, you can now ask questions about your clients, right? Like you can now today go through and say, hey, let me see all my clients with this particular carrier. I don't think we've got it set up just yet to be able to go, in time periods. Let me see all the policies are written in between this time and this time. I know that's probably one of the future things we're working with. But just imagine, I mean, Michelle has been, Robbie, turning down her GMR, probably getting, I mean, Clay's probably getting a little bit upset for her right now, right? And turning down her GMR basically so that she can start forcing herself to go working her past clients. Just yesterday, she was at a client's house and she said, "Hey, can you pull up and let me, like, I'm going to see the wife, all right? Her name's XYZ, right? Mary, right? And I know we wrote Mary a new policy and we need to get something signed. But can you tell me, like, what was the this, like, her husband, Abe, what was the last policy we wrote on him?" Now, I have a lot of other systems in the office, but where I went to for the first round? I went to here. I pulled up his name, and I could see immediately where his last policy was written, with who, the date it was written, right? And then all I had to go do is just go verify at the carrier that it was still in force, And I think about, I won't even talk about, I was almost going to say it, but think about, you're sitting in a client's home and you can answer these kinds of questions, right? And you didn't have to build any of it. That's what's firing me up about this, Robbie, right now. You didn't have to build any of it to make it work. You just showed up one day and boom, it was working, right? Let's see, I think I got some of these here. We'll see if that works out here. So we've had that kind of access now for since the last time we brought this up, and I'm thinking that now, and I've got the screen up, and people should be like blowing up your phone, going like, "Oh my God, is that true?" Because I kind of mentioned it a second ago, but we've had email campaigns for birthdays and annual reviews. That's already set up. So if you have the emails for your clients, and you set up your email campaign based on what we talked about last time, they're already are going to be getting emails on their birthday, email on their annual reviews. Now let's take it a step further. There's that text message button. If you got their phone number in here, now we can do some things, man. We can do some things like texting these clients and saying, "Hey, it's time for your annual review." How many of you guys, like, our tried and true method of annual reviews has been truly just calling people and trying to get them on the phone and set an annual review. Now, if you're like me, if I get an unknown phone number, you are almost assured you're never getting through. And right? Even if if some of y'all are really good agents now, what y'all doing is you're putting your phone numbers in your clients' phones, right? You've got that in your clients' phones already, and you're going to be able to, when you call, it should say, Michelle Alleman, insurance agent, right? So they know to pick it up or call, right? But what if they're busy? What if they're at dinner with their spouse, hanging out in the movies, people that use their phones in the movies, y'all know who you are, right? But you got a text message saying, "Hey, just reaching out to you. It's time for your annual review, your policy review. I'm going to be available in your area tomorrow. What time will you be home?" Imagine getting a text back saying, "Oh, hey, thanks, Michelle. I've been meaning to get back with you. I got a cousin that needs some coverage too. We'll be home after 5. Dude, what if that's the situation? What if you're sitting there on the side of the road waiting for somebody to show up at the appointment because it was a me show, right? And me showed, but they didn't show, right? What are you doing? You know, we talked about last time about looking up clients and stuff. What about just sitting there and figuring out, okay, hey, here's some clients that I know are in this area. I'm just going to go ahead and start, texting them, see if anybody's home. Dude, I so want to tell them about some of the other things we talked about this morning. It's got me excited. I'm trying to pull up one of my records here so I can show some texting stuff. We'll get there. But so imagine all this happening, and just thinking about, what if, you're now here out running appointments, and I wish I could see the other stuff here. Man, I'm getting nervous. But you understand, like, I'm thinking, how many times, I know what else I wanted to show people too while we're doing this. Excuse me. It's coming. But one of the things that are here in these client records, and I'll go ahead and edit Clark, is you have all these other fields here, Robbie, that you can put some other notes in here. You can put whether or not they have an annuity, or if we need to book it for an annuity. You can put their address in here. You can put things like, here's some more notes. What source did I get this from? Was it what's the status on the client? Was it an appointment? Was it is there issued paid? Were they declined? Imagine being able to pull out all the clients that have been declined in the past, and you can go through your clients and go, I bet you I got a new product here I can go and see them about. What about the tags? Being able to tag people and go like, hey, I've got some new things here. This is the DC universe, right? Universer, right? And I can add that in there, right? And now I can do filtering on those tags. We talked about family members. How do we know that, families are together? What families are out there? Does that make sense, Robbie?
Yeah, Mike, I'm about to pop. I gotta tell him something. All right.
So,
I apologize in advance for what I'm about to say. So some of y'all are everybody sit. I'm gonna give you a few seconds to sit down. Everybody remain calm. All right. So we met with the senior software developers yesterday and about 2 hours this morning. And on your CRM, like, I'm so excited. I just stood up. Okay. So on your CRM now, there's two tabs. One says contacts and one says agents. Okay. Version 2.0 of this, I've gotten a lot of your feedback, and after the first call, what about this? What about this? I basically put all your great ideas that you sent me in one spot, and I said, hey, what about this? What about this? What about this with these guys? So I've kind of been the voice for you, trying to make this thing better for you. So right now there's two tabs. There is going to be not one, not two, not three, not four, but there's going to be 5 tabs on version 2.0 that I'm supposed to say that's eventually going to be on the CRM. Between me and you, it's going to be soon. So the first tab now says contacts. We're going to change that to clients. You don't ever have to do anything with loading into your clients. We have API data. Yes, the chief of sales just said API. You better get your mind right. We have API data that's for submitted data that's going to be sent to your client tab on your CRM every night at midnight. Bam! So if you wrote an application and you submitted it at lunchtime, when you wake up in the morning, it is going to be in a client tab on your CRM. Why are they under the client tab? Because they are a client. You submitted the business. We have API data feed that feeds the data to your CRM without you having to do anything. Bam. Next tab is going to be leads. Robbie, what do you mean leads? I mean the leads on your Oasis page. I mean the leads when you click on my NAA and you click on my leads and you click on my leads, whose leads are going to be there? Your leads, because they're under my leads. So my leads is your leads. So my leads is going to be on your CRM. So Robbie, what does that mean? Well, here's what that means. When you're calling leads, you can call them in your CRM, and opposed to having pressing 10 numbers in the green button, you can press the blue cell phone number on your mobile phone on your client's information on your CRM. What does that mean? You can still print out your leads, but what I'm telling you is you're going to be able to dial inside of your, hasn't even come out yet, which I shouldn't, it's going to be out eventually, but it's going to be soon. We have a, I'm getting text now. All right, everybody calm down. I'm already excited. You are getting me excited. So we have we have a ARC app that we're going to release soon. Between me and you, it's going to be real soon, but I'm supposed to say eventually. So we got an app coming out soon. We're going to have a leads tab, and your Oasis stuff is going to match your leads page, and you're not going to do anything. The same rules. If you get a lead, it's going to, as soon as it's on the Oasis page, bam, like the senior software developer, I was like, how do you do that? And he was like, magic. And I was like, I'm in on that. So as soon as you get a lead on your My Leads page, bam, it's going to be on your leads tab. And when you're calling them, you're going to say, you have three choices: no contact, or they answered and you didn't book an appointment, or an appointment set. Boom. And so when you click appointment set, you're going to be able to click another button, and you can, if you want to, you can add that specific time to your calendar. And if you don't want to, then you don't have to. That's going to be an option. All right. So that's big. That's crazy. We're basically making our system talk to their system, and different databases and all kinds of fancy stuff. Mike can tell you about it, but I think if he went on a 30-minute seminar, everybody would be confused. Just know that the data from our site is going to go on their site. It's going to be great. Third tab is going to be referrals. Now, referrals, whether it's what about ERS? Yep. What about RX cards? Yep. What about traditional? Yep. What do you mean? We're going to have a tab that says referrals. Here's how you're going to load them in. We're going to have an import Excel sheet that's going to have 5 columns. Are you ready for the 5 columns? Okay, cool. This is the 5 columns. If you can think of a better template to put them in, bam, I am all ears. Unless you tell me differently, here's what we're thinking. First name, last name, cell phone number, source, and location. First name, that's self-explanatory. Last name, bam. Cell phone, source. So what does that mean? ERS, you can click on it. ERS, Mike Alleman. ERS, Robbie Kraft. RX card, Clay Meredith. Traditional referral, Andy Lee. Whatever you want to type in that source, that you can filter and do all kinds of stuff by who sent whose CRM in. But more importantly, your secretary can all the referrals you got last week, and Excel sheet, 5 columns, import, bam. Those are in your referrals. And yes, before you ask me, you can call your referrals and book appointments during your next dial session. So Robbie,
all this is happening right after this call, right?
Yeah, eventually. It's going to happen eventually. So I just stood up again, Mike. Got me excited. So yeah, if your goal is to book 20 appointments a week, cool. How many did you book from your lead CRM, and how many did you book from your referral CRM? So I'm so excited about the referrals thing. I'm about to go crazy. 4th tab is going to be agents, exactly like it's set up now. And another thing I'm excited about is the 5th tab is going to be, we're going to call them RPs. What's an RP? An RP is a recruiting prospect. You know when you ran an ad on Craigslist and 10 people responded, and you know how that was 3 months ago and you haven't called them back? You're going to be able to put all your stuff in a spreadsheet in those same 5 columns: first name, last name, cell phone number, source, location. So like mine would be Robbie Kraft, cell phone number, source, say Craigslist ad, location, McLeansville, North Carolina. So then you're going to be able to sort by the city, state. You can sort by the source. You can call your Craigslist ads. You can call your monster resumes. Better yet, you can call your MC backup, your contacts to Excel. We're going to make it really cookie cutter to systematically call people and to follow up with them. And more important than that, Mike alluded to it earlier, we have individual texting now, but I'm supposed to say eventually, I'm not supposed to say a date, but just between me and you, it's going to be soon. But eventually, you're going to be able to check all the boxes, and you're going to be able to click on group text message. So a group text message means it looks like it's coming. No, they call it a different word. It's mass texting. So it looks like it's coming strictly from you, but you're just clicking a button and a text message is going to 500 people. So for example, you have 100 people respond to your Craigslist ads last month. You have your secretary pop that in an Excel sheet, load that into your recruiting prospects. Bam. You send them a text message that says, hey, this is Robbie Kraft. Tried to get hold of you last month about working with us. Give me a shout at this number if you're still looking for work. Bam. It took you 30 seconds. You just sent a text message to 100 people. If you only get 20 people text you back and hire 5, you hired those 5 people for free. Well, Robbie, I invested in the Craigslist ad. I know, but you've already spent that money. The CRM is a legal printing press of how to print money systematically and not spend more money. So I'm not even going to get into the dispositions and how you can tag stuff and how you can assign tasks about whether it is different. Like, I want to get in the weeds so bad, but I want to tell you what we already got. But I can tell you what we're going to have. But just know that what we have is awesome. But don't get excited about we'll get excited about what we have. But version 2 that's coming out eventually, maybe next week, maybe the week after that. We shouldn't have said that. Eventually, I'm supposed to say eventually. Robbie said eventually. So eventually, we're going to have this, and data runs the world, and we're going to give you more data so you can help us take over the world. Back to you, Mike Alleman.
Thank you, buddy. Hey, man, we're getting a lot of good questions and on the panel. I've been watching that, and some of y'all I've been able to answer a little bit. Like e-apps, that's going to come in through the submit feed, the feed that we're getting on your clients. So we should see those. Hey, is everything going to be perfect? No. But is it going to be better? Yes. And I think that's the big key here on everything that we're doing. So let me show my screen here again. We'll see what we can whip up here in some of these screens. So here's some data. And again, we kind of have this problem, Robbie, where we have a lot of clients, 7,000, and we're straining the system a little bit. We're working on that. That's some of the improvements you guys are working on. But like one of the things that I think that's been huge, like I mentioned earlier, is that ability that we have all the county data. So all the counties that are in here. And I go back now, some of y'all are just running one county, and I appreciate that. But you think about, Michelle and her activities and what she's been able to do over the years. Even this weekend, Robbie, she would be running business with a new agent of ours somewhere in Louisiana around where that cone of silence is. This potential hurricane coming up. I told her she couldn't go this weekend just because that's the way it was. I know we don't have the boat option on the car yet. So, but being able to go back and I remember her very first month out was Brown County, in center of Texas, where there's nothing else around there. And I know right now there's some people right now doing a search on Oasis to see what leads they have in Brown County, because that's where Michelle ran her first piece of business, right? But we can go back there and see all those clients and go back and figure out, okay, here's people that we need to call. So you've got a lot of things there. Man, can I talk about that other thing? I don't want to talk about that other thing.
Yeah, light them up. Explain it to them.
So here it goes. So we discovered a few weeks back that one of the things that if you're a manager with downline agents and you've been trying to figure out how to work through their things like pending, when we made the switch to the ARC, there were some changes that made it a little more challenging. And so been working with the guys, and we probably still have, a little bit. I've been talking to some of the leaders about presentation and whatnot, but I'm just going to click here. Y'all that are looking on the screen right now, right, is under agents and under pending business. It's been a huge, I won't say an issue, but it's been a huge desire to be able to see what's going on in our pending business. And we'll see if this works today. What I can tell you is that we've got, I think Forrester's feeds is pretty good. That may not work today. It's pretty good. One of the things that was missing was, if you're familiar with Forrester's, was that last little piece of information I like to call the notes, where Forrester's tells you, here's all the things that you need for that client. Well, I will tell you, it's coming. Let's try this. We'll try it this way. But that's there, and it's still got to be prettied up. We still got some challenges with the way it's presented. But guys, that should give you some fired up excitement about, oh my gosh, this is coming. I look at this last half of the year, Robbie, as the year of where we truly double just because of the tools we have access to. Does that make sense, Rob?
Yes, and I'm getting a lot of text right now. So if you want everything to sync to your CRM calendar, the easiest thing to do, like the first call we did, is you set up a Gmail. So, Mike, is it they set up a business email with Gmail? What's that little? I don't want you to like keep doing what you're doing, but it's under settings, and it's like I want to say it's business email. So you make a Gmail, and then to answer your question, anything you put in your calendar will be synced to your Gmail. So, like as I alluded to earlier, if you're calling leads inside of your CRM, and you want to say booked appointment, like if I open up my Outlook and I click on this little plus sign, so if you have Outlook and you click on the little plus sign, it basically says, it says new event. So you would type in, Dr. or Mr. Smith appointment, and then you would type in the start time and the end time. So a lot of us, are in the house for an hour. So like, let's say you put an hour and a half to make sure that you have drive time to the next appointment, however you want to put your calendar. And that'll sync with your Gmail. So that's kind of coming out. And I don't want to give you too much information, but how on your smartphone, when you have like an unread text message, how there is a if I have 4 unread text messages right now, it's a green icon with a white little conversation bubble with a red circle that says 4. And if I click on 4, then I can read all my text messages. So if you have an appointment that's coming up, you'll get like a zzz, and it'll be on your app, whether you need to do something as far as running an appointment, whether you're supposed to call a recruit, whether you're supposed to do anything. And when you click on that event in your calendar, it'll take you to the exact spot in your CRM. So like, let's say, for example, I have a call at 2 o'clock with Mike Alleman. I will just click on the notification on my app. I'll click on Mike Alleman. I'll click on his cell phone, and it'll take me directly to his CRM where I can track any communications I've had with Mike Alleman, as he alluded to with the notes section. So that's version about 1.8, but that is coming out. And yes, it cannot be a Hotmail. It has to be a Gmail because that is backed. Well, if Hotmail is backed by Google, that'll work. I don't know the answer. As long as it's backed by Google. Is Hotmail backed by Google, Mike?
No.
Okay, so yes.
Different companies.
Just do a Gmail. Be simple and do a Gmail. Like my Gmail is it's rbcraft@gmail.com. That was my Gmail. So it'd be easiest to do Gmail.
Yeah, and I know some guys can probably be blowing up both, or you probably come ask me, well, why can't we? Yeah, well, we can, and it'll be eventually. We start with start with one, and we'll expand it out. And I know that, so sometime in the future, we'll add in things like, because in our internal email system, we use Office 365. But you know what? To be able to use this, I just set up a Gmail account. It's one that's just used for this, but we can make it work. Just like, we all work with multiple accounts. I know how that is, right? So just do it and join the stream that's moving versus the stream that's trying to wait for their turn. But yeah, so definitely do that. And I'm excited about being able to tie all that together with the texting, with the little bubble. I mean, dude, I don't even talk about the mobile app, but that'll be out sometime soon too. Anyway. So I didn't mean to say that, but I did. So looking at
let's say eventually.
Yeah. Eventually. So looking at the screen here, and I'll try and do my best here. So one of the things we've been able to do with the Forrester's data is now you can see the insurance name, and you can see different lines. Probably I've already noticed that there's multiple lines per insured or per policy. And that's just different updates. Like, so for the goes way back, 221, that was an update on that policy. This was an update again on the same policy. But the big thing, like I was trying to mention earlier, is now if I click on here, we've got the notes straight from Forrester's that tells us what's needed. So I can click on each one of these things, and sometimes it's going to be different, sometimes it's not, because we're still working on the presentation. But you can see, you've got all the requirements here. You've got a lot more data about what it is that you're looking at now. So I expect that we've solved the problem for Forrester's. We've solved the problem. I know Transamerica is going to be close behind. I'm sure once these carriers hear me talking about how these other two guys are like at the finish line on this deal, that you're going to see a huge rush to take our calls and get this working. Am I right, Robbie?
Yeah, I got 3 carrier sales reps texting me now.
Oh, they should be.
Yeah.
And they should want to get this done, because here's the thing. And I was thinking about this, Robbie. It blew my mind. How many new agents, and I know that there's some on this phone call right now, know that for you to work your pending, you have to go to the carrier's website today, log in set up an account, log in there, find where their pending information is. Work with me here. Find where their pending information is, right? And then determine what you need to do from that. We got a lot of new agents that maybe they're third, fourth, fifth, haven't hit the power of 10 yet. And I'm telling you, I bet you right now, a lot of them don't know that they need to log into their carriers to do this. Now, imagine, Robbie, we can tell them you don't need to do that when you first get started here. We got you covered here, man. We have all their pending information right here. All you got to do is come to your CRM or come to your ARC, and boom, it's all there. That excites me, because that gets about 12 passwords. I don't longer need to have my little storekeeper, sticky notes you can save. Think about it. So I'm fired up a lot about that as an opportunity for us moving forward.
Yeah, and to comment on what you just said, Mike, if you're a manager and you're thinking, hey, I wonder if I'm going to be able to imitate my downlines pending, yes. So just like you can at the carrier website, you can do that just like the old way. You can do that right here, and we're having to reprogram is not the other word. I would say have to put it in a different language so systems can communicate with each other. So we're saying the same thing. And so if you've looked at pending recently under foresters and you're like, I have no idea what all these letters and numbers mean. Basically, we wrote program and we wrote software to say, hey, that means that you need an APS, or that means that you have an amendment, or that means that, hey, this policy is issued. So whatever the language is, we've made that language clear so you can understand it when you're checking your pending. And I think it's going to be perfect eventually, but I would say Forester's pending is going to be bad to the bone Monday morning, as I've been told. I shouldn't have said Monday morning. It's going to be fixed eventually, but it's supposed to be getting better every single day.
Well, it will be a Monday morning in the future.
Yes, that is true. I did not say a date, so you are correct.
You are correct. But yeah, so if y'all been watching the screen, I've kind of bounced around and pulled up different agents, downline agents to see it. And yeah, guys, remember, this is computer language. I know y'all don't know this, but we use short codes in computer stuff. And so we have to translate that back to English for folks. And that's where some of this stuff is going to be like brilliant. But there's always been, I think Robbie, the big win we have in front of us with some of this is we can have the alliance language translation, if you will, so that what if it's pending lapse, it's pending lapse. It's not some weird name or other kind of thing. And there's a lot of things we're going to be able to do with this. So yeah, I'm fired up about it. I know we're supposed to be talking a lot about CRM, but this is just as important to me. I think we got some huge wins. Same thing up here when you're dealing with your CRM and your clients. Y'all got to get in here and play around with some of this stuff and Robbie, you can attest to this too. This is, I mean, what we've done with this software with the ARC has been amazing in the last 6 months, given the time frames and the timelines we had. Y'all don't know. And with the compensation was the primary focus. I think that was a huge part. And so we got to give these guys kudos for doing everything, because we make things, how do you like that? How do you call that? We make it simple, not necessarily easy. So one of those ways, I forget how it is, but you'll be able to kind of drill down into and see, okay, well, here's I don't have clients for some of these agents, but you can see, hey, here's this person's agent base. Here's this person's clients base, and being able to help them. To me, it's more so not about managing it as much. It's about helping. This is what families do. Families step in, And so things like pending, being able to see that, it's about families stepping in and helping each other, helping your downline get through things. Sometimes, like Robbie, I know that we have client agents all the time that may never tell us, oh, well, this client, they decided they didn't want it, or maybe they got embarrassed and need to go fill out a form, but didn't want to do it. We'll have these kind of notes and have a lot easier access to them than we've ever had. And I think that'll help us with a lot of client stuff as well. So back to what you were alluding to earlier, the email campaigns. So it is going to be, if you go to your settings, and you go to your profile, you're going to want to set up a business alliance email address. See, I've got Tony Stark. He works here now. I didn't know if y'all knew that, but T Stark of the Alleman group. I'm going to go ahead and put him in here as well for the alliance business email address. You want to make sure you've got that. Okay. And I'm also told setting time zones is a good thing too, but I'm not going to tweak that here at the moment. And so I saved the changes there. Should be saving it. And then let me go back to the CRM. I know I could go back to it there, but I'll just come back here and follow through. It's kind of like they did some good things in helping us with these little links here, right? So I'm going to click on the email configuration now, and boom, it's got the alliance email. So you can have your regular everyday email in there for other communications, and you put your alliance, your Gmail account, if you will, is what you'd want to put there, by the way, your Gmail account, and then you put in your password, and that's how it knows to send the emails back out to it. And I believe that's how it's also going to be tied into your what you call it? Oh, your calendar as well. Boom. All right, Robbie, what else we got? Anything else you want to announce these people, get them fired up about?
People are texting me about, so like it's weird. All the people that hire a bunch of people are asking me about how the group texting thing works with the recruiting prospects. So just to get in the weeds a little bit. So as long as you'll put it'd be a great business practice to take all of your responders and put them in an Excel sheet. Some of the websites, I'm not going to name who, but some of the websites can put every single responder in a certain format that everybody uses different formats. So like if you'll copy and paste, or if you'll, right click and move some stuff around in an Excel sheet, as long as you get a first name, last name, cell phone number, source, and the, like I had somebody text me, I think it was Jake Krause texted me, hey, can we add county? I think it was Jake. Yeah, Jake Krause. Referral spreadsheet. Oh, it was referral spreadsheet, column suggestion, county. That way you can sort and call by the county you're running that week. Yes, that's a great idea that I did not think about. So I need to let them know to add that to the import contact. So for referrals, we're going to add, instead of location, if you want to type in the county, so we'll probably just have, the location, and you can type in the county or the city and state. So like you can filter. It's like, hey, I'm running in Forsyth County today. I got 10 appointments in Forsyth County, and then you get a no-show. And you're thinking, okay, what can I do to be productive in this hour and 15 minutes for my next appointment? So then you log into your CRM and you click on your referrals tab and you filter by Forsyth County. And you're like, man, I got 6 referrals in Forsyth County, and you've called them, but they haven't, answered the phone, and it's 6 o'clock at night, and you knock on their door and you say, hey, and you book an appointment off of an ERS cold contact that you've tried to reach out to and you hadn't gotten them. So that's like great feedback like that. It's like, yeah, that's a no-brainer. Let's add county. That would make a lot of sense. So for the recruiting prospects, like even my staff's texting me like, this is crazy for all the ads that we've had. I'm like, I know. So when you use the text messaging feature, meaning like when you text on text message. So what I would do when you're ending this phone call, when we hang up in 11 minutes, when you wrote your policy on yourself, your personal use policy, why don't you text yourself and just text yourself, hey, or text yourself test, or just text whatever you want to text yourself, but just know it's on your CRM record. So just keep it PG. So you text yourself, and then you can respond back I can respond back on our test version of my app, but you can text back right now on the computer. And so you'll text yourself back from the computer. So you can see the number that the text is coming from. It's not coming from your cell phone. So it's 2019 and there's all kinds of rules and regulations. So why don't you text yourself when we hang up the phone in 10 minutes to see how it looks, and text yourself back and how to read those messages. Now, when you have the app, as I talked about earlier, you're going to have a notification, and there's going to be a notification tab in the top right-hand corner when you log into the computer when you get a response back. So that's for texting. So I am about 28 times more excited about texting than I am emailing, because all of my clients have a phone number. A lot of my clients do not have an email address. So I am excited more about doing texting campaigns. Now, Robbie, what about this? I just had a smart agent ask me, hey, can I text my people and ask them for their email address? Yeah. Why would you want to do that? Well, then you could set up their automated email campaigns, because you already have their birthday. The problem is you don't have their email address yet. So when we release group texting next week, eventually you can shoot. Eventually, when we release group texting on the app, so you can text individual people now, but when we release group texting, you can literally text every single one of your clients. So like in Michelle Alleman's case, it's like 9,000. If you're like, why is it taking Mike's page so long to load? He's loading, 1,000 agents and 9,000 clients. He's loading 10,000 things of data. Mine loads a lot quicker. So next time we do this call, I'll load mine. I think I have 800 clients. So it's going to load 10 times faster. So, but the power of you texting people and saying, hey, this is Robbie Kraft. I am your life insurance agent. Did not have your email address on file. Will you please send that to me? And then you'll get a notification when they text you back your email. You'll go into your CRM and you'll add that email, and then those automated email campaigns that Mike's talking about, they'll be able to get an email on happy birthday or annual review or whatever template you decide to send it to. And so stuff like that, I get excited about simple stuff that's easy to understand that helps make people money. That is the craziest, simplest thing. Texting somebody, what's your email address, and then you typing in their email address, and them responding to your email, and then linking up with you to set another appointment to buy some more insurance from you because of the Alliance customer resource management tool, aka the CRM. So yeah, I'm getting a bunch of texts about the recruiting prospects. So yeah, so you can load in a spreadsheet with your recruiting prospects and text them. And if you have a calendar link set up within the ARC, or if you have a calendar link or a Simply Book, like I know Clay always talks about lpt.simplybook.me. If you have a booking site, you can text everybody that booking site, and yes, they can book an appointment in your calendar. And if that's backed by Gmail, yes, you can sync that into your Google Calendar and your ARC calendar. So there's crazy stuff that's happening, especially with the leads thing, referrals, and the agents and recruiting prospects. And like Mike said, pinning's getting better every single day. Someone just asked me, hey, when I'm talking to my clients, what are some different dispositions, or what's some different tags you can have? So we're really just thinking real simple, because what we have in the client data now is submitted data. So everybody will just be application written, and if you want to switch it to issue paid, or if you want to say second appointment needed, or decline not taken, or somebody canceled, that'd be lapsed or canceled business, or you need to go back, wherever you want to make a disposition. So we'll have 5 or 6 things you can select from inside of your client tab. For leads, it's going to be real simple. It's going to be you dialed them, didn't talk to them, you talked to them but didn't book them, or you booked an appointment set. And within your leads, if they're not a client yet, so if you've talked to somebody, like you've been to their house, you can disposition it. I sat with them but didn't sell them. Or I sold them a policy, but I need a BAM FAM. If you start messing with the edit tab of your contact, you can actually, there's 3 little check boxes that say IUL BAM FAM, annuity BAM FAM, or additional policies BAM FAM. Or Robbie, I haven't seen that before. I know it's a little check box on there. You just haven't clicked on it long enough to mess with it. And that's the way, everything we're talking about, it's great, but unless you take action to start clicking on some stuff and messing some stuff up, then you're going to realize, oh my gosh, I didn't know they had that. That's just crazy. And then you wrote a policy on your cousin. You send them a text message. They text you back and they say they want to buy more insurance. So we've already had a lot of success stories about people making additional sales off of this. I saw Mike, didn't I saw a post on Band either from you or Michelle that said something about current clients and something about CRM, and I want to say she wrote like 5 applications or 6 applications in a day. Was that last week? I saw that on Band.
Yeah, I think it was about a week and a half ago, maybe.
What happened?
And it was really she just what I was saying earlier is she was in the home, or she were looking for clients for her to call, and was able to pull out a list and from here and say, hey, let's set some appointments. And then she gets there, gets the ERS out, and discovers she's got other clients, that she had. So I think we're just seeing the tip of the iceberg on it. I really do. Robbie, one of the questions that I've seen a couple people asking about, where do they send feedback? And I don't want to say directly to your email address. We want to send it somewhere else. And you may not have a good answer for that just yet. It's not my email address either. We need some way of capturing some ideas.
Yeah, I'd love to have the feedback. To answer your question, if y'all have improvements, if you got my cell, text that. My email is rcraft@naaleads.com. Anything that you would think it would make it better, we are more than open to making this thing better. What the easiest way for me to visualize what you're talking about is, if y'all know what what's it called, a snippet tool. If you'll take a snip of what you're looking at, and you could say, wonder if we moved this to here. So opposed to writing me a 3-page essay about why we should have a 6 tab called X, if you'll just take a screenshot or you'll take a snippet and say, hey, wonder if we made this look like this, I would say, man, that makes a lot of sense. Then I would send it to Jason Carey, and then Mike Leventovich, and then Mike Alleman, and Chris Long, and say, hey, Jane Hill, what's your feedback on this? Paul Menachino. And they're like, man, that's a no-brainer. Let's do that. And then I call a software developer. I'm like, hey, man, we mentioned 5 tabs. We need this 6 tab as well. So anything that you think will make you more money, we want to know about it. And eventually we'll have a real systematic process about feedback. But for now, just shoot me an email or shoot me a text and say, hey, what about this? If you thought about this, then our goal is to make this thing better every single day. And when you get to family reunion, hopefully the app will be ready by then, so you can download it and start messing with it, and you can mess with your CRM on your phone. And if you just think logically for a second, if you pull out a website on your phone, like if you go to ESPN.com, it looks differently on your phone than it does on your computer. So you can imagine what we're doing with the commissions tab, to making sure you can read that on the app, your CRM, your pending business. So eventually it's going to be as easy to operate on your phone as it is the computer. But I mean, Mike can tell you this better than I can, but there's all kinds of different stuff you have to do to make it an app. So just know that's coming through the pipe. So Mike, I'd love feedback, email, and I'll kind of consolidate everything and give it to the people that are smarter than me, that can make a decision to make sure the agent force are rocking and rolling. This is a profitable, positive move for them moving forward. So,
one other thing that they were asking about is, I know that the audios for this gets readily produced out there. The video components that go along with it. Just kind of get a timeline. I know it's going to be after this call, but some timeline in the future.
I think it'd be smart to, today's Thursday. I would say tomorrow we can have an audio and a video link. Just blast it out. It's like, hey, if you missed the call, here's the video and here's the audio link. Just send out in one email to avoid confusion. Because the first call was more nitty gritty. It's more click this, click that, click that. So if you're listening to this call without listening to the first one, you're like, what are they talking about? Email campaigns? What are they talking about? Text messaging? What are they talking about? Clients and leads and referrals and agents and recruiting prospects? What are they? Yeah. Good job listening to this call. The first call is more nitty gritty. This call is more about, hey, we got text messaging now. Hey, this is coming. Hey, this pending stuff's getting better. It's like the improvements the last 3 weeks. But I'm so excited about what it's going to be like next week. I mean, I keep saying eventually. I am very cautiously optimistic about what we're going to have next week while you're here at family reunion. And
tell the guys no pressure, but let's get it done.
And they got doing breakout sessions Saturday morning. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about, if you haven't looked at it, here's 2 or 3 things here are your first 2 or 3 things to take advantage of using the ARC system. And so they got me doing a couple of breakouts and talking to you about how to use this to run a profitable business. And I just, with Albright's leadership and Albright investing money and Albright investing time, and he was in Lakeland last night with 146 people. He did training there today. He's in Atlanta tomorrow. He's in Atlanta tonight, showing the plan, training, and tomorrow. He's like, Andy's never worked harder. Our top leadership, our inner circles never worked harder to make the Alliance the best environment ever to grow a profitable business. And like, this is, I said earlier, this is the worst it's going to be. Like, this is the worst our CRM is ever going to be, and it's going to get better every single day. And there's about 18 things I had written down that I didn't have time to cover with you, but let's want to keep it real high level. Just know that we are busting our, almost said the A word. We're busting our butt to make this thing better for you every single day. So I appreciate your patience. I appreciate your work ethic. I appreciate you working your butt off and not, analyzing one policy and one CRM record. Your CRM is more fun the more insurance you sell. So how much money can I make on my CRM? The more clients you have, the more money you will make off your CRM. So you got 8 days before you got 7 days before family reunion. What are you going to do in those 7 days? How many policies are you going to submit so that data goes into your client data? How many referrals are you going to get? How crazy, like the Foresters Make a Difference thing, I think starts in 168 hours. What are you going to do in 168 hours to make a difference so you can make more money leaving family reunion within your CRM? So the decision's yours, guys. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. We could have the best system in the world, but if you don't take advantage of it, you are not going to relinquish the benefits of the CRM. So I appreciate you on the call today, Mike Alleman. I think the world of you and how good you are at translating really complicated stuff to simple stuff. And I appreciate all the work you're putting into our ARC and our CRM to make it better every single day. But guys, let's go out and get some. I'll see y'all in 7 days at the Foresters Make a Difference thing. If you haven't gotten registered for that, please register, and we'll see you Thursday. Get kicked off Friday. It is going to be the craziest event that you have ever been to. Write it down. It's going to happen. Appreciate you guys for jumping on the call today. Thanks, Mike.
Appreciate you, buddy. Bye-bye.
Later.